What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are going to talk about the skill military team versus Emma. Now, I'm prefacing this with two things, because before we go into the footage that I have of us punching across with Emma and just discussing the potential of this team, I need to kind of talk about the stuff with Yelena, because there's some big concern about whether or not her special is able to apply Disrupted against a Stryfe on the enemy team. And this has to deal with the fact that Stryfe with the Marauders has a lot of bonus resistance and bonus armor and everything. So the question was, can Yelena reliably apply Disrupted to that Stryfe? And the answer is going to be yes, but there are some caveats, and we're going to talk about that real quick. Now, I'm doing level 65 here, 5 red, 5 yellow. It's a decent benchmark to go by, and what you want to go for and why the Skirmisher ISO 8 is going to be very highly recommended on her for this is because that Skirmisher at level 5 gives her 50% bonus focus. So you can see right now we're sitting at 3,800, almost 3,900 focus right now. Now this is important because when you go over to a Stryfe that you're going to see in War, it's going to be a little bit more interesting. And I'm going to show you guys my Stryfe that I have. I've got a 6 red, 7 yellow Stryfe, tier 14, and his resistance right now is sitting at 5,400. Now, in War, he gains with his passive and the T4 on it, War defense, mutant allies, and self gain 10% bonus. They gain 50% bonus resistance. So you add another 50% on top of that, you're sitting at about 8,100 at that point. So you are going to quickly stack up the bonus resistance on Stryfe, and that is important. So what you need to make sure is do the math to make sure that your Yelena is going to be able to counter him. So we'll go 5,400 times 1.5. Oops, would help if I did it correctly. 5,400 times 1.5. So he's sitting about 8,100 right now. So you gotta have more more focus on Yelena. Now, here's where things are going to get a little complicated. I'm going to basically just go through the math here, so stick with me. This is important. Also, you do have the bonus defense up from Emma, so in actuality, it's more you're doubling it at that point, because the defense up gives you another 50% on top of that. So he's sitting at about 11,000 resistance right now. So you need to go back to Yelena, and we'll go back here, and what you need to then do is start leveling up Yelena. And when you go from 70 to 75, you get massive boosts in the focus and resistance stats. So if you go up here to 75, right here, make sure that she's still sitting at gear 12, not worry about any of that gear. And now she's sitting at 6,100 at 5.5 with the Skirmisher, 6,100 focus. So now you take that 6,100, and then you're going to basically double that, or not so much double it, but you are going to add 50% on because you have the 50% bonus focus with Red Guardian, and you're sitting here about 9,150. This is where things get tricky because, as we can tell right now, when she's transferring the effects with her kit, part of her kit says that she's able to transfer effects. This leads to questions about if that requires a bonus, a tenacity or defense check right now. And as far as we can tell, it does not require a resistance check for Yelena to transfer those positive effects. So in actuality, you don't have to really bother with the defense up from Stryfe, and you can safely transfer that defense up off of him and then use the Disrupted on him. So at level 75 with gear 12 versus a gear 14 Stryfe, like a 6-7 Stryfe like you guys saw with mine, Yelena will be more than sufficient to apply Disrupted. So if you guys are worried about that, there's the math. I had some people double check it. It looks solid. So it looks like you don't have to throw a lot of gear onto a Yelena to make sure she can apply the Disrupted, which is great news. So if you guys are worried about that, don't have to worry about that. Now, with that being said, one other thing real quick I want to talk about is there seems to be a bug with the the ultimate for Punisher, in that it's not giving out the correct damage, at least according to the ability description. When I upgrade this to the T4, and it's supposed to add another 30% damage to all enemies, this right here did not move. So it's still set at 200% damage plus 20% piercing. It's supposed to read 230% damage. except there's a math error in this. And if you add up the damage totals here all the way through level 6, it's only supposed to be 180% damage. So it seems like level 6 is possibly giving out too much damage, and then when you go up to level 7, it's not giving out enough damage. So maybe it's just a text error. I already forwarded it to Scopely. We'll see what they say. We'll hopefully it is just a text error and it is actually boosting the damage correctly. For the footage, I did not have T4s on Punisher. I did them afterwards. You guys are going to see why here in a moment, why I put those T4s on him. So I'm going to tell you right now, Punisher just absolutely shredded that Marauders team. So with that in mind, don't have to worry too much about putting a lot of gear on Yelena. Just get up to level 75 to get those extra bonus focus stats on her. Gear 12 is more than sufficient. So the footage we have here, this is pretty much a punch across. And the reason why I wanted to bring up the stuff with Yelena and Stryfe earlier is because this is a weak Stryfe. But because we can see that she's going to have so much focus that against a tier 14 Stryfe, she's still going to be able to land that disrupt. It seems like you're not really have to worry about that. So it's a good way to show like what to do if you get that disrupt on Stryfe and go after the other characters. We got tier 14 Emma on the enemy team, tier 13 Sinister, tier 12 Sabretooth, tier 11 Mystique, and it looks like a tier 11 Stryfe as well. And for me, I've got tier 13 on Punisher and Killmonger, 12 on Yelena and Soldier, and then I've got tier 11 right now on Red Guardian. So yeah, that's what I'm doing here. And yeah, if you love your Emma teams, you're probably gonna want to look away right now because this fight's over in about 2 minutes. And with this kind of punch across and the damage you're gonna see from Killmonger and Punisher, it's going to get pretty nasty. And also, forewarning, I'm running on potato graphics because I was recording this on my phone, and my phone's a dinosaur, and it doesn't really like Marvel Strike Force too much, so I left it on low graphics here, as you can see, as they just kind of pop in. But yeah, pretty much what you're going to go for is you're going to put Disrupt on Stryfe, you're going to strip that defense up, and when you do that, it puts defense up on Killmonger, and he follows that up, and I don't know if you saw that real quick, with a 100k hit right there. Now I do have the T4 on the passive for Killmonger here, so 100k crit on that with his passive because every time he lands defense up, he's able to attack the most injured enemy. Does some really nasty damage to Stryfe right there. And pretty much our goal at this point is to go for Mr. Sinister. Stryfe, or not Stryfe, but Killmonger's going to take him out right here again. Lands a bunch of critical hits, finishes him off, 114k on that hit. Has the offense up now as well. Here I got a little indecisive. I should have kind of stripped the buffs, and this is when I realized I don't have T4s on Punisher, so I just kind of used this, and it did some decent damage, about 50k against the character with defense up, so not too bad. Red Guardian is pretty much doing his job here, and that is to basically just absorb the hits and, you know, just kind of take the punishment for everybody so that they can go for other people. So unfortunately, we ran into a problem here where we lose the taunt on Red Guardian. It gets stripped because we have Skirmisher on these two characters. They strip the taunt off of Red Guardian. Don't get rid of the defense up, though, but he loses the taunt. So Stryfe uses his ultimate here. We get ability block on Killmonger, Punisher, and Merc Soldier. All of them get ability blocked, but honestly, it's not too bad. We'll use the special here with Red Guardian to heal my team up, give defense up again, trigger the passive once again with Killmonger, and then Emma goes and blinds and kills Red Guardian. And that kind of screwed up my my fight a little bit, because now we've got blind on Yelena, and I wanted to really use her ultimate here, but unfortunately, because she's blind, it's not unavoidable, so you have to deal with that. So now, we're going to go for Sabretooth, we're going to go for Mystique, and also could go for Emma here, because Emma's not charged right now, and you're going to see Punisher just absolutely melted Sabretooth there. If you look at that closely, again, one more time, we'll get the Skirmisher here with Merc Soldier, and use that to put vulnerable on Sabretooth. And then we follow up with Punisher, and this is where the potato graphics kind of screw things up. It freezes here, but you get a quick look at it. 131k with the basic against Sabretooth there, without the defense up on him. That's pretty bad. That's just downright nasty. Triggers the death proof, and then we get a bonus attack here with Punisher again. Another 95,000 on that bonus attack with ISO. I've got Striker on Punisher, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep it on him. He's got a lot of piercing damage in his attacks. His whole kit has 20% bonus piercing on everything. So yeah, Striker seems like a good idea for Punisher. I don't think I'm going to go from that anytime soon. And then you're going to see some nasty stuff here in a moment against Emma Frost too. So we'll use the ultimate here with Yelena. Doesn't do a lot of damage. I still need to work on her and get her finished, upgrading her with crit and everything. And then this is where we notice the phantom buffs. We've seen this before where buffs aren't actually there in the game, but they seem to be. So you're going to see we have evade here on Mystique, and I'm actually going to land with the ultimate here, and I had to double check. His ultimate is not unavoidable, so we have this phantom buff popping up. So if you're wondering why she was hit while she has evade up, it's that phantom buff again. It's a bug that they are working on. Hopefully they get it fixed at some point. Land some critical hits here. Some really good damage from Killmonger. And there we go. Finish off Mystique. We'll try to do some damage there. And yeah, so we had originally a 100k hit there with the basic, plus another 17,000 against the barrier. So you're talking about 118, something like that. Yeah, 118, 119k. And then another 90k follow-up from Punisher there. And we'll get some damage there. Not a lot, because she has charge. I remember when she has charge, she has that bonus offense. Try to do some disrupt there. Doesn't land. We'll get another vulnerable there. And yeah. Yeah, so this right here, if there's one character that you're gonna want to take up to a high tier level on skill military, it's this guy right here. It's Punisher. The fact that he can do this against an Emma who's running like 500% bonus armor, I think it's 500% bonus armor. What is it? What is charged on her gives 400% bonus armor. So she's running a huge amount of armor there, and she still takes that from Punisher. Granted, she has vulnerable against her, but still, the fact that Punisher's able to do this is a big deal. And if you go back and look at it, you can see I've got the bonus here. And this is the important thing with military in war, is that they gain some pretty significant bonuses. And this is why they're... Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't even know. If you're looking at this, don't buy this offer, because he's going to be in the arena store in a few days, most likely. But yeah, if you go and look at the room bonuses, I believe it's barracks or armory. One of them gives the bonuses to attacking enemy or attacking allies, and it's doubled for military. And then you go and look at the bonuses for Punisher when fighting against villains. Yeah, so that's defending allies. So it is armory. Where's our armory? Yeah, so 20% bonus max health, damage, armor, resistance, and focus, with an extra 10% bonus to military allies. So all of your skill military teams, as long as armor is up, getting a 30% bonus to all of that. Plus, when you look at the kit for your skill military, they gain a lot of bonus damage and health. And with Punisher, he gains another 30% against villain enemies. And the whole Emmarauders team is villains. So he's running close to double the damage of what he usually has. And right now with him at tier 13, Striker level 3 on him, he's sitting at just under 20,000 with a 5/7 count on him. This guy is absolutely bonkers. So if there's one character you're going to upgrade as high as possible on this team, and now I'm kind of reconsidering taking him up to 15 for City DD4 anyways now because of this, Punisher's your guy. So yeah, that's the footage. I want to hear from you guys. What do you all think of this? Does this get you a little more excited for skill military? Are you guys still going to sit this one out? I want to hear from you guys about what you think here and the math and everything. Let me know what you guys think. But as always, if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe to the channel for more Marvel Strike Force content in the future. And as always, I will see you guys next time.